here. Yeah, we got that. Correct. Yes, we are ready for Soul Sisters on Smooth 98.1. 3 minutes past 11 o'clock, almost 4 minutes. We had to start by playing you that song by Nina Simone, Just Like a Woman. And different people have different interpretations to who a woman should be, how she should act, labels here and there, but exactly the effect that has on the woman, we'll get to that later on. Now, I can guarantee you this will be a very interesting conversation because we already started the show before the show, meaning we've had some discussion going on behind the scenes just before we came on. If you want to know what's going on behind the scene, I will suggest that you go to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos. Again, youtube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos. And while you're there, it's okay for you to subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything we have for you. So the show is Soul Sisters, and every Wednesday from 11 to 11:50, we talk about women and everything relating to the women, their growth, their development, their everything that she experiences in the society and as a person. And of course, we have different professionals and people who are in this capacity to discuss it. But you know, you're also very important. That's why we take your thoughts and your messages as well as your calls. The messages go to 0809 444 0981, while the calls can come to 01448 9981. This morning, the topic is the career woman, the myths and the facts surrounding the career woman. And in the studio, well, is someone who has been referred to as a career woman. But just to give you quick information about her, she is a career development coach and she was one of the 5 role players at the African Leadership Awards in Mauritius, December 2019, where she spoke on the future of world at work. She's been awarded many, many times and recognized many times. For instance, she was awarded on one of the Africa's most talented HR leaders and also awarded one of the top 50 career influencers in Africa in 2020 by Work Booth magazine. Also, she was awarded one of the most inclusive HR influencers in 2020 and 2021 by Social Nicole. There was also the recognition of the 30 leading women in HR in Nigeria by Wording HCD, as well as the 2021 recognition on International Women's Day. And recently, she was recognized as one of the top 100 career women in Africa by 95 Cheek. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the convener of the Africa Employability Summit, as well as a career development coach. She is Dr. Jumoke Malachi, well, popularly known as Dr. Jam, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good
Thank
morning.
You very much. Thank you for having me, Oluwaseun.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you had to, move around just to make it here. I do not take it for granted. Thank you. So let's get started now. I said recently you received the recognition of a top 100 career woman in Africa. To begin with, how did that make you feel?
Very, very humbling. For me, it's just wanting to do what I love. I grew up seeing my mom work as a career woman. So for me, it's living my dreams and then getting recognized for doing things that I love, doing a job that I love. It's just humbling.
How people come to do the job they love is another talk for another day. Because, yes, according to data, not everyone likes or enjoy the job they do. But away from that, let's get started with the definition or the tag or the label career woman. And when you hear that, what comes to your mind?
A woman who is about her career. It's just like saying a businesswoman. I don't know that I will take offense if I'm addressed as a career woman. It has to be that you've seen something distinct. You've seen that I'm deliberate about my career. You've seen that I wake up in the morning, I go to work, I make things happen, I come back home to my family. I'm a career woman. No apologies. Or do I need to explain?
Okay, let me give you a quick background and why some people would refer to woman as career woman with a little bit of disdain.
Mm.
So the term or the phrase career woman was actually coined first in 1930s, and whenever people were using that, they would use it to remind a woman that she's not supposed to have a career going on for herself, such that it can contend with the place of her family or her children. And then, according to different definitions currently in this 21st century, a career woman is a woman who is more interested in her career than in being married or having a children. That is the definition, literally.
Okay.
So that was why I said, what comes to, do you ever think about that when it concerns career, or you'd rather say, I'm a woman with a career, not a career woman?
It's just nomenclature. And what I would say is, I am a woman. I have a career that I love. I'm growing a family. I have 2 kids, by the way. And I'm deliberate because the truth is, with the careers, I'm able to pay bills. So, with the careers, I'm able to take care of the kids. And my first is 10. Will be 9 rather this year. My second was 6 in April. And we have conversations around the fact that mommy needs to go to work. Yes. They want a good life. So we talk about it. I'm like, mommy needs to, my daughter will tell you that, mommy, you need to work hard to achieve success. I'm not making this up. So, and that's why if you call me a career woman, I won't take offense. Now, I imagine that as we go along in this conversation, we will establish the fact that at different times in your career, at different times in your life, some things will take the front burner. But I don't want to go into that now. But am I okay with being called a career woman? No offense taken. Plus, I'm self-aware, so I actually won't take offense. Yes, like I said, if you called someone a businesswoman, should they take offense? Yeah, so I'm either doing a career or I'm either doing my business or I'm running a career. So as for me, and that's the thing, that's why I'm always mindful about generalizations. They're not very healthy. So don't cage everyone, don't box everyone. I don't take offense if you call me a career woman. You can say you don't call a man a career man. It's neither here nor there. I said it earlier before the show started. I said as long as I'm securing the bag and I'm getting the credit alerts,
that's all that matters.
Neither here nor there.
All right, very interesting take then. That's how we get started. But right now, let's take a short breather. And when we come back, we will actually delve into everything by asking what your take is on that age-long question of why you asking a woman why she is or how she's balancing things. If you don't get to ask a man how she is or he is balancing family and career, why should you ask a woman? We will ask that and many other questions when we come back from this break. You're listening to Soul Sisters on Smooth 98.1.
And you're listening to Smooth 98.1. Don't go anywhere.
So we have it was lovely. Great intro. It's like you don't want to break so much tables or so many tables.
Last night, you did change everything. Wait, wasn't it 2 days ago
that you bashed your balance?
And now they're telling another one.
HR people will say work-life balance, but Susan they were saying work-life integration. And we'll get to that. Yes, you can't balance it.
It's the car my insurance
For
company
2
AXA gave me while my car is
consecutive
getting
weekends. Next week
fixed.
I'm traveling to
It's like
Osaka for work.
AXA gave you makeshift
For
car.
2 consecutive
Same company
weekends,
that
I
took your
come
car
home.
to better auto shop all within 24 hours. Guy, why you
you
not
say
show me the
balance,
way?
it's
Before
not
my insurance
balance.
company make me back up for 3 months.
But
They jump both round the
integration.
doors.
So the kids understand what we need to
Moto
do.
Insurance is the one-time insurance feels like an upgrade and
Sometimes
leaves
I'm
you
home
wanting
and
to
I'm
say
deliberate
thank you for what
to
you
go out.
truly
I don't
deserve.
have to feel
Visit
needy.
www.axamensar.com
Just making
or
sure
call
that
0700
there's a thing.
Axamensar today.
But can I have it? If I'm going to have it a
Our
100,
people, they always
if
talk,
something will
say,
stop.
to get money, person
So is
must
it that my
work
work
with the
247?
But since
Who
star
is suffering? Or my cook
73342
247?
hash with glow
Remember
don't
that I
enter
talked
the
about
matter,
bills
now only
and
your
living
hand
together.
you need to win instant money on green lotto with your glow sim. Yes, so just
that should
dial
be on the
star
show.
73342 hash
Well,
on
it's
your
on
blue
YouTube.
line to buy green
Oh, it's
lotto
here.
tickets
Yes, it's
with
on.
your airtime, play your favorite games, check your results, and get your winnings.
I'm sorry.
Airtime or direct transfer to your bank account.
I am
because
sorry.
instant money don't pay your hands, yo.
Our LinkedIn fam, it's okay. I said LinkedIn, our YouTube fam.
Let's take a critical look at your
So,
lifestyle
a
and
balance.
the
Yeah.
state of your
That's what's important.
With life in a city that
And
hardly
then
sleeps,
labels.
so many
Labels.
people
I
working
just,
hard,
I don't
and
know.
many
You
more
just
on
need to be
the
mindful
edge,
to not let
one
mistakes
thing
define
is
you.
likely to
It's like
happen.
we're very
System
sensitive
shut
to labels.
Why
down.
are we oversensitive?
We actually
Helping
were
you
sensitive to
discover
a lot
facts
of
about
things
your
these
health
days,
and
and
expanding your access to
I wonder
well-being
why.
through relevant
Social
information.
media.
Tune in
So
to
we
Smooth
can't
Health on the
afford,
Drive
if not, you will
and
always
make
be
that
triggered.
connection with
Now it's
your
back to
body.
emotional intelligence, managing expectations. I
The
don't
Smooth
imagine
Health,
everybody has my
every
world.
Thursday
But going
at
back,
5:15 p.m.
Smooth.
Smoother than a fresh jar of skipping.
Well, if you think a fresh jar of Skippy is smooth, wait until you listen to us, the music, the program, and everything we have to give to you. And trust me, well, you will not dump your jar of Skippy, you'll just keep it by the side while you're listening to us. We are Smooth 98.1, and we keep it smooth on the Soul Sisters every weekday, or no, every Wednesday from 11 to 11:50. Today on the show, we have a guest, and we are talking about the career woman, myths and fact. You should not miss out on any part of this, and we have ensured that. That's why we're streaming live on YouTube. It is youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. My guest is Dr. Jumoke Malachi. She is a career development coach. And before that breather, we established that having a career, or she mentioned that she doesn't really care about the labels as long as the necessary are sorted, right? The pom pom at the end of each month.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
whatever it is that you call her, she doesn't really care about it because she is self-aware and your validations are not exactly needed. Okay, now back to the question of can a woman have it all? That centuries old question, which triggers a number of people because, again, some say you don't ask a man if he can have it all. He's having it all. In fact, according to a particular study that was done by and put in Harvard Business Review, it says that generally speaking, high achieving men don't have to deal with difficult trade-offs in terms of family and business. In fact, about 79% of the men that were interviewed said they wanted children and a family, and about 75% of them had it. But that could not be said for other women. So, can before we even answer the question, do you think it is demeaning of any sort to say, can a woman have it all?
Okay, I know that earlier we had this quick chat during the break about the fact that it's about balancing all the areas of our lives. There's a particular global coaching tool that we use for clients, and it's called the Wheel of Life. And this Wheel of Life has all the basic areas of your life you feature in. So it has career development or personal development. It has fun and leisure. It has family. It has significant order. It has health. It has finance. It has career. So the idea is any human being has to balance. And I've said it before, that balance is almost, it's utopia. You can't quite balance these things. But these are all the areas of our lives we feature, male or female. As much as there's a lot of conversation about empowering the women, absolutely we need to do more for the women. But someone has said to me recently that because we're focusing a lot more on the women, we hope the boys don't suffer for it. Yes, so we're focusing on the women, we're focusing on the girls. I hope we don't wake up at one point and realize that, okay, now we've done so much for the women and the boys and the men are now getting marginalized. So that, like I said, trying to just balance it out. Now, for me, it is that I need to feature as a wife, I need to feature as a mom, I need to feature as a mentor. For someone like me, I mentor people, I coach. I'm somebody's child, I'm somebody's sister, I'm somebody's auntie. There are many hats that I wear. I'm not going to say that because I need to show up as a mom, my career should suffer. Now, again, I've come from the angle where I don't feel like I need to overtly explain myself to anyone. I don't feel defined by those terms. So for me, it is what is important to me. I said it earlier during the break that I'm also mindful that at different times of my life, different things are priority for me. When my career is just starting, I need to put in a lot. This is my 14th year in my career, and I know I've grown in my career. I may not want to give details on air, but it is that the time when I needed to put in the late nights, grateful that I was single, so I could do that a lot. But it's funny how I'm married and I still work late nights, depending on what is required. I said earlier that even in engaging my kids, on those occasions when I'm not able to show up, we talk about it. Now, when I came into the world as a woman, the responsibility was there. I was the one who was given a womb, and I'm going to just say it as it is. Yes, I'm the one who was given a womb. I'm the one who can possibly be a kid. So, except we want to change roles. Can we? Should we have that conversation? I'm the one who can have kids. I'm the one who will do this on behalf of the family. I think in all of these conversations, what is most important is that you have a supportive spouse. In all of these things we're saying, yes, you need to have a spouse that understands that you wanting to build a career does not mean a marriage needs to go needs to get in the way, or we need to lose our marriage because you're building a career. And when two people come together, because we're talking about a career woman and we're talking in the context of marriage or family, when two people come together, we're not doing as what this is synergy. So it is teamwork. It is both of us against whatever factors are on the outside that we need to contend with. So we should not compete. I don't know if I'm still on the topic.
Yes,
but
you are.
It is that when I come together, if my spouse understands that at this time she needs to be away for work, I need to be with the kids, maybe we get help. We should know that I should not trade off the fact that I'm the woman, I'm the one who has the womb, and then does that mean I can't grow a career? But like I said, the most important conversation we should be having is whatever you do, and I always say to single people when I come across them, whatever you do, make sure you marry a man or a woman, whichever case, who understands where you're trying to go with your life, and they're willing to support you on that journey. There are many things I can't say, but let me.
Well, you have already encouraged into the other things I wanted you to say, which is absolutely brilliant. I was going to ask next what it will be, or some of the things that can help a woman, in quote, have it all to the best of our ability, which you mentioned, a supportive husband. Because if you read or watch the interviews of successful or high achieving women, you would always that constant thing, supportive husband.
Absolutely.
Supportive husband. Now, what are the elements of a supportive husband? Or if a woman who is out there, maybe in her 20s or 30s, who wants to have a family as well as a growing and budding and thriving career, what kind of man should she be looking at marrying? No, before we go, of course, we're going to go to that aspect. But before then, what are the elements? When you say have a supportive husband, you've mentioned part of it, but going further into the nitty gritty, what are the elements?
Okay. I think I'll just walk back a bit to talk about all the possible things that you can have. You should have a supportive husband. Marry someone who understands what you want to do with your life, and they're willing to support you all the way. It's also important to have additional support system. I read a book by Nkiru Olumide-Ojo titled The Pressure Cooker. This was 2016 or 2017, thereabout. And it helped a lot because she's also a high achieving woman, and she was putting into a book how she has grown a career, how she has managed the home front and making sure that nothing suffered. But some comments she made was she had nannies, she had a mother-in-law, her own mom helping with the kids when she had to be away. So those are things that women need to be deliberate about, have support systems. If you're going to thrive and juggle all these balls well, you can't do it alone. So we've talked about a supportive husband. I always tell people that what I can pay for, what I can outsource, I outsource it. You won't catch me mopping the floor on a very good day, for instance. I will not mop the floor.
Reminds of those takes on Twitter.
No, because you won't get an award for mopping the floor the cleanest. The irony is the floor you mop today. Hello, by tomorrow you need to mop again. Or next tomorrow. You don't leave it for a week and say, well, I mopped it and we're done for the week. So things that I can outsource, I make sure that I always say to people that I work hard. So I work hard to earn a living. I make sure that that money, there are some things I pay for. So someone who cleans, someone who helps with the kids. But I am deliberate about the connection with the children. So again, you can't say, oh, I'm building my career, so kids stay in the background. You need to be deliberate to include them, even as you go up the career ladder. So I've talked about supportive husband, I've talked about support system. On the work front, may God bless you with a supportive boss. And that's a prayer. Because I know people are dealing with toxic bosses who you tell them, oh, I don't feel great today, I can't come into work, and they're like, show me that your leg really broke before I accept that your leg really, so And that's why I said a prayer. May you have a truly supportive boss. If you have a supportive boss, fantastic. If you don't have, I would say learn how to actually manage that boss. Hopefully they come, they come over time. If that doesn't happen, I always say to people, every job has a lifespan. Whatever you do, don't overstay your welcome. So if you see that that job is constantly in the way of you living your best life, you managing all these things we're talking about, I'm a career development coach for a reason. We can talk about you getting another job. So that's, let me pack that aside. But these are all the things. And then for the individual, so I talked about work, I've talked about family. I need to talk about you as a person. What do you want? So I say to people that I got many certifications. You only read the fraction of my certifications.
Oh, yeah.
I got many certifications while I was single. I got many more after I got married. I got many, many more after I had my kids. Now, it is that even though I'm busy, even though I have to attend to my husband and attend to the kids, I know when to wake up and read. I know to go on Udemy and take a course, because those things, upskilling helps me stay competitive. And that's why I said I may not want to disclose how much I've grown in my career, but I am constantly hungry, asking myself, what's the next big thing? What else should I be doing? What additional qualifications should I get, even though I'm married with kids? I remember when I took an exam in 2015, I was nursing my son. And I had to leave him with the nanny for a few minutes and go and quickly read, because I paid in USD for that exam and I needed to blast. I was a nursing mom and I did it. So we can make excuses. I said to my coaching clients, you can make excuses or you can make a difference. Yes, will all the odds perpetually be stacked against you? Most likely. But how hungry are you? How bad do you want it? And like I said, I think one thing, I was on 9 to 5 Chick the other day talking about being a visibility icon and have, because I was named a LinkedIn top voice in January of this year. And so that conversation was about how did I find my voice? And I said, one thing that helped me.
That's it.
No.
It will strike you. You're listening to Soul Sisters right here on Smooth 98.1.
Smooth.
What's that?
It was disconnected.
Is it back on now? All right.
World-class music. It just feels good. It's time to enjoy fast and reliable internet connection for less.
It's time to go big in the Airtel Home Broadband all-time mega offer.
It's time to take advantage in the Airtel Home Broadband all-time mega offer. Get a MiFi with up to 125 gigabyte bonus data for just 5,000 naira, or a router with up to 240 gigabyte bonus data for just 10,000 naira. Visit any Airtel shop or www.airtel.com.ng/HBB now.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Who are you, and why do you think you should be the next Nigerian idol?
I'm 21 years of age, I'm a singer, and I have big dreams, and I'm ready for the big stage and bright lights.
Ah, let's hear you.
You had me at my first glance, staring at you, staring at you, staring at you.
The music show of the year is back for its 8th season. Catch all the thrilling moments showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Africa Magic Showcase, Urban and Family. Stay connected to DSTV and GoTV. Nigerian Idol is proudly sponsored by Biggie and Techno.
Smooth.
I love my soul music, I love life, I love digging what I'm listening to, and that's why I listen to Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. I am Ola Onabule.
And I am Oluwaseun. You're listening to Soul Sisters right here on Smooth 98.1. We are having a very interesting conversation, and you can catch it on YouTube. It is youtube.com/smooth981fm Lagos. You can stream live at www.smooth981.fm, or you just search for Smooth 981FM Lagos across all radio streaming app or websites. Now, we've been discussing for the past 20 minutes, if not more, If you have any questions or any comments, any observation, any disagreements, you can keep them coming to 0809 444 0981. That's the WhatsApp line, 0809 444 0981. Well, you can dial 01448 9981. Again, 01448 9981. So if there is anything you'd like to add or subtract, it's okay. Be our guest. Remember to reduce the volume of your radio set if you'll be calling that number, and if you'll be sending a WhatsApp message, please include your name as well so that we know who is speaking to us. Okay, my guest has been Dr. Jumoke Malachi, and she is a career development coach. It has been quite explanatory enough, and I hope that you have been taking one or two things, especially the nugget. Don't make a difference. Oh no, don't make excuses, make a difference. That's just the best. You can either make excuses or you can make a difference. Now, back to it. As a career development coach, now for someone who's listening, you had the opportunity of watching your mom be a real life inspiration to you. So there was no doubt about I can do it right from the start. Now, for someone who is not, who doesn't have that luxury, someone who's in their 20s or 30s, as a woman who wants to have it all, family, career, money, everything, what would be your recommendations to them?
So I would say, like I talked about the book by Nkiru Olumide, The Pressure Cooker. I would recommend that to every woman. Buy a copy and read it. So for me too, I was looking for answers when I came across that book, and it helped to give context and perspective. In addition to that, I would say get a mentor. There are many people who have walked this path, people you look up to. Some people will say, oh, must your mentor be someone you can see and feel? I'll say, well, if it's a mentor via book, get one. If it's one that you can go and meet and sit with and talk about these issues, get one. And then, of course, build your own community of women where you're supporting yourselves. Be in communities, whether professionally or socially. Have people around you or women around you who can remind you that impossible is nothing. So I have many younger ladies who I interact with, and they just always say it. I see you do it. I know that if Jam can do it, I can do it. I'm like, yes, you will do even bigger things. So for me also, I know that I'm a last born, I'm an only girl, but I have many adopted younger ones, by virtue of the work that I do. And so I would recommend that look for people, read books, consume articles. There are some articles that you read them and they give you a nugget. Maybe the essence of that article is to just speak one nugget to say this is how you can do this differently. All the things we've talked about, there's a science to them. There's a way to achieve them. So we should be talking to the right people. We should build the right network. Make sure that the ladies you have around you know how to compete and outdo one another. Make sure that you have a healthy circle. People who want to see you succeed and they can show you, oh, do this, do it this way. Have friends who are older. That's one thing that works for me. I have older friends, a lot of older friends. I have friends who are my contemporaries about my age, and I have many younger friends. So for the older ones, of course, there are things I'm looking at. I see how they're doing it, and I know that I can do it. For younger ones, they're sort of mirroring me. So I'm mentoring them. But there's what we call reverse mentoring. So even for younger friends, they teach me stuff. Even though I'm older than them in age, but I don't know everything. So I would say that make sure that you have a circle that cuts across like that, so that at every point you are able to get value. I hope that even in the workplace, I know that many organizations have mentoring programs for people, male, female, depending. So when things like that come up within your organization, you should be in front and say, come and mentor me. Yes, I have a mentoring program I do with another senior friend in the HR space, and we're starting the court next month, I think. And that's also another opportunity for us to bring people together. We're talking about career, life, and how people can just generally live their best lives and thrive. So when you see opportunities like that, where you can be under the tutelage of someone who has walked that road, who has done something with their life and career, please take it here from them. And I hope it helps you on your journey.
Yes, we do hope so. Thank you for that. Now, before the other questions, when you were mentioning the different kinds of support you need a supportive husband, you need supportive boss, you need support system, that's family. And I said I was going to ask you about who a supportive husband is, especially as a young woman who is trying to maybe make choices. Now, basically, I will morph that into another question.
Mm.
We've talked about the people you need to have in your life. How do you spot the signs or the flags and the people you don't need in your life, or those who are going to be like pitfalls, or the not pitfall now, but the people who will probably derail you. So yeah, we need to balance it.
I think I see a lot of posts on social media these days that talk about red flags. I think those posts can help. I tell people that when it comes to marriage, I'm not a marriage counselor.
No, this is not.
My core is career development coaching. I'll close my eyes and do it. I wake up from sleep, I can talk about it. Marriage, and I've seen that my marriage will be 10 years in December, but that doesn't mean I'm a sage when it comes to marriage. That's the thing. So I'm still learning. I'm relearning. I'm unlearning. But if you say that, what are the signs? I think from when we start to date, when we start to banter, you check, is this someone that will say, I see all the degrees you have, but you will sit at home. So it's in the subtle jokes, it's in the subtle jokes. You know that career is important to you. You want to build a career. You want to get to the top of that career ladder. You know that that's your goal. But you come across a guy who is steady saying, oh, I will make sure that I sort all the bills. Any woman I marry, she'll sit at home. She doesn't even need to have a business. She doesn't need to open a supermarket. No, she doesn't need to. I won't build a mall in her name. She just needs to sit at home and be taking care of the children. Please, what conversation do you guys want to have? How do you want to proceed? Like I said, I'm not a marriage counselor, but slightly, all those subtle jabs, have those conversations. And in this age, I don't envy people who are dating right now. I really don't envy you guys.
Why?
Some of us did it way back because I hear that out there is very slippery. People serve breakfast left, right, center. Different things are going on in the dating scene, and that's matter for another day. But I think my priority really is first, before you even go into any relationship, all I've talked about self-awareness. Who are you? What do you represent? Do you know your magic? Have you owned it? And are you in a position where you can be a blessing to other people because of the degree of virtue you have on your inside? If you've not cracked all those things, you're coming half-baked into a relationship. So go on that personal journey. Dig in. Who am I? So that even when somebody serves you breakfast, instead of you crying, it's just like in jobs. If somebody tells you, I need you to leave this organization, where does that put you? Are you in a position where I cannot go, I'll take them to court? Or even before they serve you the letter, I already talked about every job has a lifespan. Whatever you do overstay, you're welcome. Do you know when to say, you know what, I've had enough here, I want the next big thing? And the opportunities are always there. Talking career and even love will always find you. Love day will go reach everybody. Am I allowed to speak pidgin on this call? So as a lady, when you're going into that conversation with that guy, make sure that you're going with your best foot forward. What value are you bringing to the table? You should not be a liability. The fact that the person is dating you, he should be using you to brag. So do you give him bragging rights? Or are you okay? The way she was looking at me, I think I should be quiet.
No, please go ahead.
Honestly, what do you bring? Is there so much value that the person knows that he can't afford to lose you? He will make sure to, because he needs to keep you because you're bringing real value. Or you're someone who you're dating and the guy thinks, oh, I beg, I don't even know what we are doing. So as a woman, please make sure that you're coming with your best foot forward into that relationship. Have those crucial conversations. Let the person know what you want to do with your career, the kind of life that you want to live. Let all those things be clear, so that when you start to say, I need to go and take a course, I need to go and do this, I want to add value in this regard, I want to go off for my MBA, I want to go and do my master's, it's not sounding like Greek to the person. The person understands that I know that if you call me ambitious, do you think I'll be offended? Very, very. My life is when I post about my daughter, people say that I'm giving her a real life superhero. Yes. So there are some things you can't tell my daughter. She's 6 years old, but she understands that if my mom is doing these things, I feel like opening a YouTube page for her. Just I don't have the bandwidth. But she understands that this is who my mommy is. She goes all out. She's achieving success. It's her words. Those are my daughter's words. She's 6 years old. So she understands it. And I was going to refer to an event I attended for International Women's Day this year, and Fela Drotoye spoke. And there were many things Fela said, that the kind of support he gives his wife, he saw it at home. I don't want to, I'm not shaking anything, but I'm not abusing people's parents, so I can't do that. I'm well brought up. But the kind, you get where I'm going, Abby?
Let's take a break.
I should land it. Okay.
You're listening to Soul Sisters right here on Smooth 98.1. We have been discussing for the past 40 minutes the issue of career woman, and the questions have been answered, if we say so. But if you have any comments, we have very few minutes to take them, because after this break, we'll be wrapping up the discussion. My guest is Dr. Jumoke Malachi. She's a career development coach, and you can see her gorgeous face on YouTube, which is youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. We will be right back. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't like to shake table.
Who are you? And why do you think you should be the
Oh, we're
next
almost out of
Nigerian
time,
idol?
actually.
I'm
That went
21
really
years
fast.
of age. I'm a singer, and I have
So when
big
we come
dreams,
back,
and I'm
we'll
ready for
just,
the big stage and bright
wrap
lights.
things
Ah, let's hear
And if
you.
there is anything you want to plug in, like your page.
You had me at my first glance, staring at you, staring at you, staring at you.
The music show of the year is back for its 8th season. Catch all the thrilling moments showing every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Africa Magic Showcase, Urban and Family. Stay connected
there
to
was
DSTV
this topic
and
I was going to go to, which
Nigerian
is
Idols, proudly sponsored
the
by
issue of
Biggie and
people.
Techno.
I think you addressed it, but there are people who get married to a woman, and then she was high achieving. She knew what she was going, where she was going. Both of you discussed it, and all of a sudden you stop her and say she can no longer go on that path.
So there's two options. Either allows you to stall her dream, and then she succumbs, or she says no and then marriage suffers for it. But don't blame the woman too. Don't blame the woman.
You want to say that on air?
Smooth drive home right here every weekday from 4 p.m.
You said it. You said it.
all day long.
Oh, time runs by real fast when you're having so much fun and having a good conversation. Wow, 41 minutes past 11 o'clock. We are almost at the end of this, and it's been quite interesting. If you have any question, again, you can quickly send it. And if not, well, keep listening and enjoying it. You can share this stream with your family and friends too. We will save it for you on YouTube. My guest is Dr. Jumoke Malachi. And before that break, you answered well in details the question of the people, the kind of man, if you want a family and your career going on for you, the people that you should have in your life. And the other side is something controversial, sensitive about a woman who has everything going on for herself. You married her that way. You knew who she was, ambitious, a career person and all of that. And when you got married, the man starts to say, sorry, I don't think you can continue this, or
Why can't you continue?
I'm not the man. Because I remember.
Yeah, we'll role play.
Okay.
So you've said it. We're going to role play, Oluwaseun.
No, we are not.
Yes, we're going to role play. So you've said it that before the union, you knew the kind of woman she was, high achieving. She wanted to grow to the top of her career. And then we agreed, we got married. So at what point, and maybe if you give me context, if you say, oh, the marriage is suffering, you give me for that context, how is it suffering? So if we can establish, and as I said, I don't like generalizations. I like let's unpack the issues so that we're not joining issues. Why did he wake up one morning and say she cannot chase that dream anymore? I'd like to hear.
Well, maybe, time being a factor, maybe she was no longer as available as she used to be.
How do you define available?
Dr. Jumoke, no, this is not, I don't like where this is going.
I'm going to give you a real life scenario that I dealt with in few weeks ago. So someone is married, they have 2 kids, and she was at home for the longest time taking care of the children. She had to sacrifice on behalf of the family. these things happen. And then I think our first was what, maybe like 4. So the younger one is about 6 months. So of course she can start to sort of step away from the baby. And then she got a job. This is real life. And then she got the job, and the husband started to throw tantrums as to why she should not take this job. One of the reasons why she was considered for that job, even though she had a gap in her CV, is because she has 2 degrees. She has a first degree and she has a master's degree. And so she was considered for that role. And then the husband started to throw tantrums to say, oh, I don't want you to leave the children. So let me ask Oluwaseun, what do you think of this scenario I've painted? What do you think the woman should do? Bear in mind that because she's not earning any income, she has to almost always beg for money to do the things that she wants to do for herself. This is someone that has 2 degrees. So Oluwaseun, I'm now the host of this show. You are going to answer as my guest. What should she do?
This is a takeover, a pure takeover. Please save me. Save me from Dr. Jam. You know, what you said now actually reminds of one of the discussions we've had here on Soul Sisters. We had a barrister Olumide Omoshebi. And one of the situations he dealt with was a woman who was promoted rapidly at a place of work and was given an official car. Now, guess what happened after she was given the official car?
Tell me.
The man told her to return the car.
Well, it was faulty.
No, that she cannot be having.
You didn't like the color.
That she cannot be having an official car of that level, and that it was intimidating. So she needed to return it as the submissive wife.
You asked me while we're on break, when we have a scenario like this, how can we deal with it? And I said there are 2 options, and I'll say it on here now. And you can quote me. So it's either the woman succumbs and say, you know what, this is what my husband wants, I agree. That's an option. And I cannot tell anybody what decision to take in that context. I'm not the one who wears the shoes. I don't know why it pinches. So the first option is maybe she will succumb and say, my husband has said this, so I go with him. Or she stands up, says no to him, and yes, maybe the marriage will suffer for it. You know, when you hear irreconcilable difference, these are the issues. So those are the 2 options, but it's not my place to say what is right or there's no right or wrong answer. But remember what I said earlier about what Fela Drotoye said, your upbringing. How were you brought up? Who are you? And then do you have people who call you to order? Do you have people who hold you accountable as a man and even as a woman? I'm not focusing on any gender. It can be either way. So for me, it is, how do you wake up? In this scenario I painted earlier, the father of the lady said to her that whatever you do, so she had to leave the house, move to her parents' place. And one thing the father said to her is, I'm willing to babysit your baby, me as your father. But whatever you do, don't resign from that job. And that I didn't train you to master's level. Should I land the thought or I just stop you there?
Please land it.
He said he didn't train her to master level for someone to tell her you can't take a job. Now, when she takes that job, when she get paid, where does that money go? Please make it make sense.
Where do broken hearts go? Wow, it's been quite a conversation. And Charles Chidozie on WhatsApp says, I'm just loving the conversation on Soul Sisters today. Unfortunately, we have 2 more minutes to the end of this and we cannot go on. But hopefully you're able to pick out what is good and helpful for you.
Sure.
If there is anything you can pick out of all of this, it is, what do you want? First, self-awareness. The tag of career woman, what it does to you, how it triggers you or not, is all dependent on who you are and how aware of yourself you are. And then when it concerns your career family, if you want to have a career all through without having a family or without having a child or children, that is you. And if you want to have family and have a career, well,
that's okay too.
Just know everything involved and the prices, the sacrifices you have to make. There is a Yoruba adage that says you don't get to the middle of a river and start to complain of cold.
Please say it in Yoruba.
Èèyàn kí ń dé àárín odò kó wá máa kígbe òtútù.
Deep.
I
I'll
feel
take
like
that with me.
I feel like an elder.
I'll take that with me. Deep.
So just make sure that you know the things involved while you're making your decision. But
Absolutely.
hey, whatever your choice, that's why you're human. You have the power of choice. So yeah, all the best with you and your choice. I'm trying not to say choose your choice. Thank you so much, Dr. Jumoke.
So there's something else I'd like to add. I'm currently working on a book titled Beach the Guilt. And the essence of this book, and that's why when you called me to be on this show, I knew that this is a challenge to say, you know what, you need to deal to finish, and you need to come and share that content with people. And the essence of the book is to say, as a career woman, I'm managing career, my family, and everything else, all the other arts that I wear, and I should not carry any guilt around. So the idea is also inspired by Pressure Cooker by Nkiru Lumidojo that I talked about earlier. And so be rest assured that when the book is ready, I will come here and we'll talk about it.
Thank you. So if people want to keep up with you, how can they do that?
Workplace with Jam on Instagram, Jumoke Aleoke-Malachi, that's my full name, on LinkedIn. Where else? Twitter as well, Workplace with Jam.
Everywhere.
Workplace with Jam. Yes, please.
Okay, so you can jam with Dr. Jam across all socials. Thank you. Well, Chidozie, thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you for your comments and thank you for being there. We are done for now, but at 11:55, you will listen to the news with Omashe Yashanua. And on the other side, I'll play you more soul songs right here on Smooth 98.1. This is Smooth 98.1.
This is Gold Swag on Smooth.
Yeah, you can end it. That was so good. I didn't want it to end. Thank you. So we
ended.
Yeah.
Every morning is an
So we'll
opportunity
be
to take
waiting
your
for your
hustle
book
to the
launch.
next level.